Very good morning, students. Standard 6, Subject Science. Today we are going to start with a new lesson, that is lesson number 11, Work and Energy. Children, in the previous lesson we have studied about the force and the various types of the force, correct? So what we studied in that lecture? That the force is applied to an object to pull it or to push it in any manner. And what other things we have studied in that lesson? That no object changes its position on its own. Force is required to move an object. Force is used to change the direction of any object if it is in the motion or to stop it, correct? So we have studied about all those things in the previous lesson. Now let's study about the work and the energy. Children, now observe all these pictures. Now what actions are seen in the pictures? You can see that there are some children doing certain activities. Like in the first picture, you can see the boy is playing with the tire or a wheel. By applying a force on the tire, you can see that the wheel or the tire gets a motion, correct? In the next picture, you can see the girl is lifting a bag. So here also she is applying a force to change the place of a bag. In the next picture, you can see one girl is pulling a box which is filled with books. In the next picture, you can see by using a hammer, we are hammering a nail. Then the next picture, you can see a man is lifting a heavy log of a wooden log, correct? Then next, you can see the archer. He is applying a force to throw the arrow, correct? Then in the last picture, you can see the person is pressing a sponge. Now to perform all these actions, is a force being applied while doing each action? Yes or no? Yes. To perform all these action, force is required to apply on the objects, correct? In the various actions in the picture, has the object changed its original position? What you can see, children, whether they have changed their position? In the first picture of a boy playing with the tire, then the girl who is lifting a bag, girl who is pulling a box, the person who is lifting a log, even in the arrow. In all these cases, you can see that these objects have changed their position. As well as when we will hammer a nail, it will also change its position. In case of a sponge, for certain time period, it will change the surface of the sponge will change its position. Afterwards, when we will remove the force, it will come to its original position, correct? Now from this, what we have understood, what we observe in the above pictures, we see that the position of some objects has changed. That is, these objects has displaced, means they have showed the displacement. So from that, what we can understood, what we can see, when an object is displaced, by applying a force on it, work is said to be done. So what we can say, that when any object is displaced, when it is changing its position, by applying a force on it, what we can say, that the work has been done. So children, we are also doing a lot of work in our day-to-day life, correct? We are performing various certain actions on the various objects. At that time, the objects are changing their places. They are showing the displacement when we are applying a force on it. So what we can say, that at that time, what we are doing a work. A work has been done on that object. Okay. Now, students, let us study more about the work. To understand about the work, let us try this small experiment. To perform this experiment, we need a box, thread, and the books. So first of all, tie a string to an empty box as shown in the picture. Then pull the box through a distance of 10 meters along a straight line. Children, you are supposed to pull the box up to the 10 meters. Now fill the same box with the 20 books. After doing this, you have to fill the box with the 20 books and pull the box again through a distance of 10 meters in a straight line. Now observe both the times what you feel, what you experience. Obviously, in the first time, what you will experience, the force which you need to apply to pull the box will be less, and whether in the second condition, when you are filling the box with the books, the force which is required to pull the box will be more. Now, again, pull the loaded box through a straight line for a 20 meters. Now, the displacement will be more. So, in the third case, same loaded box you have to pull up to the 20 meters. What you will feel? Again, the force which we need to apply for the third case is more. So when did you feel that the more work has been done? The most maximum work has been done in the case when you are pulling the box, loaded box, in a straight line for a 20 meters. Correct? So from that, what we can understood, the more work is done for the same displacement when more force is applied to do the work. Means, in the first case, when you are pulling a empty box, you are applying a less force, but for the same displacement when the box is loaded with the books, more force needs to be applied. So in the second case also, more work is done as the displacement is same, but the force which has applied is more. Now in the third case, if the same force is applied for more displacement, in the third case, same loaded box you have to pull for 20 meters. So in this case, same force has been applied for more displacement. So in this case, the most means the more work is done by the force. Now let us study how we can use a pulley, and from that what we can understand regarding work. So for this purpose, take a pulley. Pulley is a device which we can pull, and where you can see a wheel is attached and we can pull the objects from it. So in this case, first take a pulley, then fix it at a certain height, then draw a string over a pulley. You have to tie the string to the pulley, and this string you should be able to draw, means you should be able to pull it to yourself. Then tie a load of 2 kilograms at one end. Here you can see in the picture how the load is tied at one end of the string. So tie a 2 kilograms of load at one end, then hold the other end of the string and pull it downwards. You have to pull it to yourself at your side at the downward direction and to lift the load. At the first instance, you have to pull the string up to the 1 meter. You can see the markings, 2 meters, 4 meters are given. So first you have to lift it up to the 2 meters or 1 meter, and then in the second time you have to lift it up to the 4 meter. The same object should be lifted at first place up to 2 meters and then at a 4 meters. Now what you will experience here, when is the more work done? Obviously, when you are lifting the load up to the 4 meters, the more work is done as we are applying the more force. So what we can understood from this, when the applied force is the same, more work is done when there is a greater displacement. So in this case, what we can say that as the load is same, as it is of 2 kilograms, the force which we are applying to lift it, it's same. But in the both cases, at the first place, as we are lifting it up to 2 meters only, the work will be less, and when we are lifting it up to the 4 meters, the work is greater. Why? Because the greater displacement is being taken place. So in other words, for measuring the work, both the force and the displacement must be considered. Now, let us study the relationship between the work and the energy. So, till now, what we have studied, that for measuring the work, both force and displacement must be considered, correct? Now, we will study what is the relationship between the work and the energy, correct? Now, here you can see a picture of a boy. He is pushing a car. This is a push car. If we apply a force on it, it will move up to a certain distance. Now why it happened? When we apply a force on it, the energy of a boy will convert into the another energy, and the car or a will get a movement, correct? So what we can say that in this picture, the boy in this picture has applied a force to the toy car. Work has been done because the force applied to the car has caused displacement. Now how we can say that the work has been done? Here you can see, after pushing this car, the car will move up to the certain distance, means the displacement has been done. And as the displacement has been done, we can see that the work has been done because the force is applied to the car, and as it has shown the displacement also. So in other words, what we can see that the transformation of boy's energy into work has taken place through the applied force. So what happens when the boy is pushing this car? The boy's energy is transformed into the work, means transformation of boy's energy into work has taken place through the applied force. So when he applied the force, his energy gets transformed into the car's movement, means the work has been done. Now children, tell me, what if you and your friends are playing on the ground, all the students or all the kids are having the same capacity to play or to take the rounds? If your teacher said to take a rounds to the ground, and there are five friends playing on the ground, all the five friends can take the rounds equally in equal time period? No, children, everyone's capacity is different. Do all the friends have the same capacity for running? Children, do all your friends have the same capacity for running? No. You can simply say that everyone's capacity to do any work is different, correct? So from that, what we can say, your friends will complete either one more or less rounds than the number of rounds which you have completed. Suppose you have taken 5 rounds in 20 minutes, might be your friends will take only 4 rounds in the 20 minutes, correct? As your friend's capacity might be lesser than you, or your capacity is greater than them, correct? So the number of rounds will not be the same. Some will get tired on completing 2 rounds only. Yes children, there are some children who are having very less energy in them, so they are not able to complete the rounds. So while others will get tired on completing 3 or 4 rounds. That is to say, each one's capacity to complete rounds is not the same. So from that, what we can understand, the capacity, you can complete only as many as rounds as much you have the capacity to do the work. So the capacity to do work is called the energy. Children, do you know the unit? We need to use certain units to measure particular things, correct? For example, for measuring a liter, any liquid, we use liter. To measure a distance, we use a meters or kilometers, correct? To measure any solid substances, we use grams, kilograms, correct? So similarly, to measure the work and energy, we require certain units. So which units we are using? The units of work and energy are the same. The work and energy are both measured in the unit named joule in SI. SI means System International. These are the international standards which are used worldwide. So everywhere we can mention that the work and the energy can be measured in the joule. So this is the unit of measuring a work and energy. Type of energy is this sound energy. Now children, sometimes you might have experienced in case of a thunderstorm or a lightning, when there is a uh, huge lightning is going, though you have closed the walls or doors and the windows of your house, you feel the vibrations, correct? Why you feel those vibrations? Why it is happening? because of the sound of the lightning. Or else sometimes if you are in the neighborhoods, a DJ system is going. As the DJ sounds are having a very much loud music going, what happens, if you are staying nearby it, you can feel the vibrations in your house. If there is anything placed on a table, you can see it is vibrating. So why it happens? Because of the sound energy. So sometimes the glass panes of windows crack due to the loud noise. Sound is also used to control the movements of some toy cars. Nowadays sound is also used for searching the information on Google engine also, right? So this sound energy can be used in the various ways. This means that some work is done by sound. It tells us that sound is a form of energy. The next type of energy is a chemical energy. When wood burns, we get heat and light. Children, even sometimes you observe that when there is a fire going on the grasslands, you must have heard the crackling sounds, right? And the smoke is also there, right? Now, why it happens? We hear crackling sound as well. What makes this happen? The energy which is stored in the wood, or in case of a grass, it is emitted in various forms through chemical actions. Also, it is due to the chemical actions in the lead acid battery that electrical energy is produced. The energy obtained through chemical actions is called a chemical energy. Now, student, where is the chemical energy we use in our day-to-day life? In the various places. Now, in your mobile also, the battery which works, and your mobile or your laptop, if it is working on a battery, that battery is nothing but a chemical energy. In the battery, chemical energy is stored. So from where this chemical energy goes into the battery? When we keep it for the charging, the electrical energy is converted into the chemical energy, and then we can use our various equipments on this chemical energy. Children, one more type of energy is there, that is electrical energy. Various equipments which we use for nowadays for the various work, like mobile, laptop, TV, our work due to the electrical energy. And electrical energy is very useful in our day-to-day life nowadays. Now, let us study the another type of energy which is called as a heat energy. Heat energy is also called as a thermal energy. Children, where do we receive the energy maximum? Heat energy maximum, we get a lot of heat from the sun, correct? So the earth receives heat in the proper quantities from the sun, and hence we said that the sun is the ultimate source of the heat energy, and that is how an atmospheric temperature is favorable to the living world is maintained. Children, we have studied in the geography that on the various planets the atmosphere is not favorable for the living beings, but it is favorable to the earth. Why? Because earth receives the heat in a proper quantities, and hence it becomes favorable for the living world. Heat is the form of energy, and sunlight contains the heat energy. Sunlight has a lot of heat energy in it, and because of that only nowadays we use various equipments which works on the solar energy, right? Heat can be also produced by burning the fuels. The various fuels can be used such as LPG, then even the wooden can be burned to create the heat energy, right? So various ways also are there to produce the heat. So heat energy is used in the kitchen all the time. Children, you might have seen your mama while cooking, she has to start the fire, right, to cook the food, correct? So that fire is nothing but the heat energy, that flame of the burners which comes out from the Gas is nothing but the heat energy. So heat energy is used for cooking purpose also in kitchen every time. Now children, we use various units for measuring the different things. So heat can be measured in the unit which is called as a calorie. So calorie is the unit for measuring the heat. Now children, here you can see one small experiment to understand how the heat energy can be obtained from the sun. To perform this activity, you need a convex lens and a piece of paper. Now to perform this activity, you have to take a convex lens and hold it over a sheet of a paper in sunlight. Now move the lens in such a way that there is a tiny spot of light on the paper. Hold the lens in this position for a while. What will happen? Children, if you will do this activity, you will observe that when the convex lens is held in such a way that it helps the sun rays to focus on one point, and very soon the smoke is seen arising from this point. Why it happens? Because of the heat energy from the sun is concentrated due to the convex lens, and hence the paper starts burning. In this way, solar energy is converted into heat energy. Now the next type of energy is light energy. Children, again, from where we receive the light? We receive a light from the sun, correct? And what we have learned in the previous standard, that the plants make their own food with the help of a sunlight. It means that light energy is transformed into the energy in food, and plants and animals use this food for doing their work. It means that light is form of energy. Children, we get energy from where? We get energy from the food. And though if it is a veg food or a non-veg food, we get a food ultimately directly or indirectly from the plants. As we all know that there is a chain of a food, like certain animals eat the plants and certain animals eat the other animals, such as carnivorous animals eats the herbivorous animals, but the herbivorous animals eats the plants. So from where do they get the energy? Directly or indirectly, all the living things gets the energy, gets the food from the plants. And plants, from where they get this food? They make their own food from the sunlight. So ultimately, from where we are getting this energy? From the sunlight. So it means that all the living things, plants and animals, we are dependent on the light energy, means on the sunlight, for doing our work, as we require energy to do this work. It means that light is the form of energy. Very good morning, children. In the previous class, we have studied what is work and what is the relationship between work and energy. So children, what is work? Work, when we are saying a work is done, when an object is displayed by applying a force on it, work is said to be done. And after that, what we have studied, that when the applied force is the same, more work is done when there is a greater displacement. As well as we have studied that more work is done for the same displacement when more force is applied to do the work. After that, we have studied the relationship between the work and the energy. Now what is energy, children? The capacity to do work is called a energy. So every person's capacity to do work will be different. So everyone has a different sort of energy. And what is the unit for measuring a work and energy, children? In the SI system, joule is considered as the unit for measuring work and energy. Now today we will start studying the various forms of the energy. Energy can be used from the various forms. There are various forms of energy, such as mechanical energy, heat energy, light energy, sound energy, and a chemical energy. So first of all, we will study about the mechanical energy. So children, here you can see the two pictures. In the first picture, you can observe that a person is holding a rubber band in its hand and stretching it. Children, we have studied the properties of the rubber. Elasticity is the very important property of a rubber. So when we stretch the rubber, what will happen, children? If the rubber band is released after stretching it, what will happen? As we know that the rubber has elasticity property, a rubber band, if released after stretching, it comes back to the its original position. Means what, children? When we will stretch the rubber band, it will change its shape and size, but when we will release the rubber band, it will come back to its original shape and size, means on its original position. Now in the second picture, children, you can see the boy is playing with the catapult. So he has held a stone in the rubber of a catapult. Now what will happen if the rubber which is stretched is released? So similarly, as this rubber is also having a elasticity property, it will change its shape, it will increase its size and shape, but when we will release it, it will come back to its original position. But at the same time, what will happen up to that stone which is held in the catapult? It will thrown to a distance. The stone held there in the catapult will be thrown at a certain or at a particular distance. So why it happens? In the above examples, we see that when the rubber of a catapult is stretched and released, it comes back to the original state and the stone flies off. Similarly, children, you might have seen there are certain toy cars or some toys which has a keys in it, right? So when we wound the key, what happens? There is a spring inside the toy. So when we give a key to it, apply a key to it, it wound the spring which is inside. And when we release it, the spring starts unreleased and then the toy starts playing. Or if it is a car, the car starts moving. Similarly, when water stored at a height is made to fall on the wheel starts rotating. Correct, children? Now, why all these things are happening? In each of these actions, displacement takes place, which means that work is done. Children, we have studied that if the displacement takes place when the force is applied, we said that the work is done. Now, how this work is done in all these three cases? From where this energy is obtained to do all this work? Children, the energy is actually stored in the objects due to a specific state or a position of that object. Children, so in mechanical energy, there are two forms of the energies. When the object in any state position, it has a potential energy in it, and if the object is in a moving condition, it has a kinetic energy in it. So it happens because of these two energies, which are forms of mechanical energy. So what is mechanical energy? Mechanical energy is the energy that is possessed by an object due to its motion or due to its certain position. So in these cases, what happens? In case of a catapult, the energy is stored because of a certain position, and then that energy is given to the stone and the work is done. In case of a water, as the water is moving, as the water is in motion, the kinetic energy is given and then the wheel starts rotating. So there are two forms of mechanical energy, kinetic energy and a potential energy. Let's study it in details. The first one is potential energy. The energy which is stored in an object due to specific state or position of that object is called a potential energy. So if we hold any object at a particular position, though it is not moving, it has a energy stored in it. And then such a energy is called as a potential energy. Now let's try one more thing. Here the two balls are taken. Take two balls first, then let one of them stand stable at the center of a table. Then place the second ball on the table and push it so that it hits the first ball. Children, you might have played such a game even in the billboards or while playing a carom also. The other coins are at a stable position while the striker is in the motion, correct? So similar kind of a thing we will do here. So what happens when the second ball hits the first one? As the first ball has a motion, the second ball will also start moving, right? So from where did the second ball gets the energy to set the first ball in position? From the first ball. So what happened? We give energy to the marble on or striker and set them in motion. The energy obtained from the motion is called kinetic energy. So in this case, which energy is used? Kinetic energy. In case of playing with carom board also, which energy is used? Kinetic energy. As the striker is moving, it has a kinetic energy in it, and because of the kinetic energy, the other coins will get move. So what we have seen is the energy used for doing mechanical work is called mechanical energy. There are two types of mechanical energy, namely potential energy and kinetic energy. Potential energy is obtained due to position and kinetic energy is by motion. Students, so as we have discussed regarding water cycle, again when the water is stored in the dams or the reservoir, this water has a potential energy in it as it is in the stored format. Correct? So how we will discuss how the transformation of energy takes place when work is done. Generation of transformation of energy. Generation and the transformation of energy. Now water in the dams, it has a potential energy in it. As we have studied, when any object is in a same state of position, it has a potential energy. So this water which is stored in the reservoir or a dams has a potential energy in it. Now when this water is flowing from the height towards the turbines, as it starts flowing, it gains the kinetic energy. As we have studied, when any object is in motion, it gains the kinetic energy. So this water, as it is flowing, it will gain a kinetic energy. Now when this water falls on the blades of turbine, its kinetic energy is transferred to the turbine. Where it will transfer? It will transfer to the turbine. And after the heats of the water, when the water will fall on the blade, what will happen? The turbine will start rotating, and the turbine rotates and it produces the electrical energy. With the help of the rotation of the turbine, it creates or it produces the electrical energy, and this electricity is gets transformed into the various other forms of energy. Now this electricity is provided to the various places, correct? And we are using this electrical energy for using various appliances or for using various devices. Now electrical energy is used in our houses for various purposes. It is transformed into light energy, kinetic energy, sound energy, and a heat energy. Now how it is going to transform into the light energy or a kinetic energy? When we use any electrical bulb or a tube light, this electrical energy is converted into the light energy. And when we start a fan, this electrical energy is converted into the kinetic energy. When we start a radio or a TV, electrical energy is converted into the sound energy. Similarly, when we use a iron or a oven, it is how it is, it creates a heat, correct? So in this, electrical energy is converted into the or transformed into the heat energy. Thus what we can say that from where we actually gains the energy, from the water cycle. And how the water cycle works? Because of the sunlight. Thus what we can say, the ultimate or indirectly we are utilizing nothing but the solar energy in all this transformation of energy. The sun is the most important source of all these energies. Now, let us study the various resources of energy. The resources used for getting energy can be classified into two types. There are two types of resources of the energies: conventional energy and the non-conventional energy. Conventional energy resources are also called as a non-renewable energy resources, and a non-conventional energy resources are called as a renewable energy resources. So from the name only we can understand that the conventional energies are non renewable, means we cannot make it again and again. So the energy resources which man or human beings has been using from many years or from the centuries are called conventional energy resources. Now which conventional energy resources we are using from a long time? Coal, oil, crude oil, petroleum, or natural gases, diesel, all these energy resources human beings are using from a long time. And as these resources are not renewable, or it takes a lot of time to create this, it is going to finished at a certain time period if we will not use it wisely. And that is why this conventional energy resources should be used wisely. Now, due to the increasing population, as we all know, the population of human being has increased a lot. So, due to that, in the usage of energy resources are also increased, and because of that, there is a danger of the limited resources. We have studied that the coal, petrol, diesel, or natural gas, it is a non-renewable, or if it is created naturally, it takes a thousands of years to generation of these resources, and hence it is going to exhaust or it is going to finish. So we need to use it wisely. Therefore it will be better to use alternative and supplementary resources instead of using a conventional ones. So what we should do, instead of using a coal, natural gases, or a crude oil, we should find out the other alternative option for the energy utilization. The another type of energy resources are non-conventional energy resources. These are also called as a renewable energy resources. Renewable means what? It can be created again and again. So these resources have not been used traditionally. They are inexhaustible, means they cannot be finished. So they are inexhaustible and continuous, and can be used in a various forms again and again. So human beings, by doing processing on for particular objects, we can create it again and again. So instead of using a conventional energies which are non renewable, which are going to exhaust after a certain time period, we should use these non conventional energy resources. So there are certain non-conventional energy resources such as solar energy, wind energy, hydroelectric energy or tidal energy, then oceanic waves energy, and atomic energy. So students, what we have studied, that the conventional energy resources are going to exhaust and we cannot replenish it easily. We are not able to recreate it. So instead of using non conventional energies, means non renewable energies, we should use non conventional, which are renewable energy sources like solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, or hydel energies. Students, As we were discussing about non-conventional energy resources, what we have studied that these are not used traditionally, and these resources are also called as a renewable energy resources. It means we can recreate this energy resources, right? So today we will discuss these renewable energy resources in details. First is solar energy, then we will discuss wind energy, then tidal energy, then hydel energy, oceanic waves energy, and the atomic energy. Now first let's start with the solar energy. Students, as we all know, sun rises and sunset every day, correct? And in the geography you have studied that it happens because of the rotation of the earth, correct? And sun is there at its place as it is. Means what? We can get the energy from the sun continuously, and it is in a large amount. So the energy obtained from the sun is continuous and enormous. It is in the large amount. Solar energy is at the root of all energy available on the earth. Children, we have studied that how plants makes their food with the help of a sunlight, correct? And we all living things are dependent on the plants directly or indirectly for gaining the energy, correct? So solar energy is the root, it is the very important source for getting the energy available on the earth. Nowadays, human beings have developed various appliances or the devices which works on the solar energy. So instead of using the conventional energies like petrol, diesel or the natural gas, what we can use? We can use the solar energy for certain equipments to work. So variety of devices such as solar cooker, solar water heater, solar dryer, solar cell, even nowadays some scooters are also working on the solar batteries. So certain various devices or the equipments are made or developed by the human beings so that we can avoid using the conventional energy resources which are non renewable. In the first three devices here, like solar cooker, solar water and water heater and solar dryer, heat energy is obtained from the sun and it is utilized to cook the food. Solar cooker, solar water heater and a dryer, it is used for cooking the food, then heating the water and drying the grains, etc. In solar cell, electrical energy can be obtained from solar energy, and solar electrical plants have the capacity to produce electricity on large scale. A solar plant consists of many solar cells. Nowadays, students, you might have seen in some of the buildings or complexes, there are solar plants settled on the terrace, and they are the building's common lights or the corridor lights, or even sometimes a water is also heated on this solar plant. So from that what will happen, children? Obviously, as if we don't have a solar plants, we have to use the electricity, correct? So we have to bill the charge the extra bill for those things. So we can avoid that also if we invest a money one time for buying or purchasing the solar plant equipments, we can use it for a longer duration. Now let's study the next energy. The next energy is a wind energy. Children, you must have seen the such a windmills, correct? So electricity can be generated by means of windmills using the strong winds. So how the energy is generated? With the help of the strong winds. The strong winds, that energy, kinetic energy, is converted into the electrical energy. A windmill is also used for drawing water from well. The next type of energy is tidal energy. Now tidal means what? Tidal means, or tides means waves. So from the waves of oceans or from the waves of sea, energy can be created. So how it is created? A wall is constructed at a narrow region of a creek. So where is at the end of the or edge of the ocean, the narrow wall is constructed, and due to waves generated by high and low tides, the turbine of generator fitted in the wall starts rotating and electricity is generated. As we all know that these waves are having lot of force in it, correct? So it has a lot of energy in it. So because of that kinetic energy, turbine starts rotating and the electrical energy can be generated. The next type of energy is hydroelectric or a hydel power. Students, this picture is of a Koina hydroelectricity plant. You must have seen that nowadays dams or the reservoirs are constructed, and such a hydel power stations are made over there. So from this water we can create the electricity. So the water stored in the dam at height is brought down through a tunnel, and the turbines of the generator are rotated. Students, as we all know that the stored water has a potential energy in it, and when it starts flowing it gets the kinetic energy, and when it strikes on the turbines, this kinetic energy is transferred to the turbines where the electrical energy can be created. The place where electricity is generated in this way is called a hydroelectric or a hydel power plant. So such a plants are settled at the bottom of the or at near the dams where such a plants are generated to generate the electricity. The Koina project in Maharashtra is well known hydel project. Even Sondha Prakalpa, it is also a hydel power plant which is near by Badlapur only. There are also other small hydroelectric plants located at other dam sites. The next type of energy is a energy obtained from the oceanic waves, or we can say oceanic waves energy. So this we know that the in the ocean or in the sea continuously water is flowing upwards and the downward side, right? Means these waves had force in it. As it is moving, it has a kinetic energy in it, and this energy can be used for generating the electricity. While sea waves move forward in a certain direction, the water moves up and down regularly at a position. It is not in the edge or it is not in the beach side, it is inside the ocean. So this water force can be used for generating the electricity. This too can be used to generate electricity. So such a electricity generation power plants are settled inside the ocean, and electricity can be generated. The next type of energy is called as a atomic energy. Children, this is a atomic energy is created from the fusion of the atoms. The serious crisis of electricity shortage can be eased by generating electricity by means of atomic energy. From this fusion, a large or a huge amount of energy can be created. The heat liberated during the fusion of atoms of heavy elements such as uranium, thorium is used to generate electricity. Students, do you know that there is an energy in every substance in the universe, including all living and non-living things? It is present in non-living thing as well as in the living things. And this energy can be transferred from one form to the another form for doing various purposes. Children, as we have studied the conventional and non-conventional energy, we all know that we use lot of equipments or devices which work on the conventional energy which is non-renewable, like vehicles, cars, scooter, or even at home for cooking purpose we use LPG gas, which is also a non renewable, correct? So instead of using that, what we should use, we should start using the non conventional energy resources. So what we need to do, we need to save the energies. Children, in a way, saving energy is as good as generating energy. As we all know that we cannot create a non or conventional energy resources again and again. What we can do, we are not able to create it, then we need to save it. So if we will save it, we can get this energy resources for use for a longer time period. So there are several ways of saving energy, such as putting off lamps when not needed, making maximum use of sunlight, etc. So children, what we should do, nowadays many people are having habit to keep the fans or lights or ACs switched on when it is not in use, or even a TV also. So what we should do, if you are leaving a room, before leaving that room, make sure that you are switching off all the buttons to save the energy. And children, what will happen, you will not only save the energy, as we all are paying a money to buy that energy resources, we will save our money as well, correct? So don't forget to switch off the buttons when it is not in use. Many a times what people are doing, they keep the various devices for charging, such as laptop or a mobile, and they removed a laptop or a mobile from the plug, but they did not switch off the buttons. So in that case also, there is a loss of or a wastage of a electricity. So make sure that you are keeping all the button switches off when it is not in use, and try to make or try to use the sunlight or the wind which is available in a large amount outside. Otherwise, we will have to face a serious calamity like global warming if we will not use all these energy resources wisely. The energy resources which do not produce smoke and carbon gases, such as carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, are called green energy resources. So there are certain devices which does not, or certain energy resources which does not create such a pollution. So these green energy resources are need to be used in our day to day life. So greater use of such a resources is the need of the hour. Nowadays many people, without any reason, they use vehicles, but we are forgetting that when we are using any vehicle, we are using a petrol or a diesel, which creates a lot of pollution as well. So we should avoid it wherever possible. So children, what we have learned in this lesson, work is done when an object undergoes displacement on application of a force. Then we have studied energy is the capacity to do a work. After that, we have learned the various forms of energy are mechanical energy, heat energy, light energy, sound energy, chemical energy, and electrical energy. After that, we have studied something that can be used to obtain energy is called an energy resources. So there are two important energy resources, which are conventional, means non-renewable, and non-conventional, means renewable energy resources. So in that, in non-conventional energy resources, we have studied about the solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, hydel energy, then energy which is obtained from the oceanic waves, and atomic energy. So students, as we have studied about it, I hope you all will remember it, and you will make use of all these conventional and non-conventional energy resources wisely.